Facebook Marketplace.
Whilst you sleep, it's still coming.
Facebook Marketplace.
And this is what happens.
Facebook Marketplace.
And this is what happens.
Okay.
And this is what happens. It's like, yo, I feel like when women are talking to
I'm not gonna lie.
Don't get me wrong. You may have obviously.
That is where your sex appeal, bro.
Yeah, but does that happen for you guys as well? Say your man's talking about some girl, like, oh my God, this girl does this, boom, boom, boom. Are you now thinking, oh, right, like...
That's it.
So it works
And
the
that's
same
an
way.
interesting
You
topic.
know, do you know what it is, yeah? At our age now,
That's
yeah,
sex appeal.
At our age now, yeah, the man them, yeah, we don't talk to each other about our girls.
Yeah.
Like
If it's
that.
wifey,
If
you don't do that.
So if you're telling me, if you're speaking to me about a girl that,
You're
yo,
linking.
Yeah.
that, to me, you're basically saying, yo, bro, I did this thing, and then, hey, on a good day, you can do your thing.
Yeah.
I hear that.
He said on a
and
good day.
it also comes down to how you explain that experience. So like, if you're going into details to what she can do, as opposed to how you feel when you're doing the thing, you already rule that person out. So for example,
Okay.
I'm not gonna necessarily be like, boom, my girl,
Clapping it up.
mad head, crazy. Because then now, if I've got a friend that's scheming and thinking, nah, if Luther's not about and his girl's around,
what
Man's
happens,
in deep
bro.
thought
but
now.
if you now say it in a way where it's like, listen, the way she makes me feel,
Yeah.
and the more you plant in that person's head, that no
feel.
matter how you think about it, you're
Yeah.
always gonna see me.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
You're
Yeah.
You know what?
You are
Yeah, because I didn't even see it like that.
Yeah.
But that is actually right.
Bro,
You're
it's
right.
like you have to plant it.
You're actually
That's
right.
right.
I never actually
have to
thought about
plant
it like
it.
that.
That's
I'm not
right.
gonna lie. You're
Because
actually
don't
right.
get me wrong. Again, I could only say this as a unique example.
mad.
But us
How
lot,
I feel.
when we talk about these certain situations, we never project our girls or girls that we're dealing with that we're taking serious in a way where it's like we're giving off an opportunity for next man to come to. We don't see it like that. Like we will sit here and happily say, yo, it's an opportunity for us to go and do something with a girl. We're happy about that. Us man never have a conversation where we say, yeah, man beat it, man patterned it, man clarted it,
Unless
unless that girl's that vibe.
Yeah. Unless
But we're
it's
never
that.
sitting there saying
Just
that.
actually
We'll
having
talk
discussion.
about it in such a way where you're thinking, whoa, I need to go do something now. You know what I mean? That's how we do it.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't
a
really
movie.
talk about it like that. That's why I used to
yeah,
always say to my friends, I don't understand when people will say, yeah, man, like man linked this girl, like man did my thing, and then they go off and talk about something else. Oh, is that what she was? Is that all that happened? We're appreciative, bro. I'll sit here and say, yo.
But again,
we're
is that an age
appreciative
thing?
guys.
It's because you lot have
You
matured
know what it
now.
is?
When
I
you're
feel
young,
like
you probably
we
done
were
that.
saying this stuff even when we were young.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm taking
You know,
some. We were saying this stuff when we were
listen to
young.
different rappers. You see, when you listen to Rick Ross and them, man.
Listen, they will really explain. They will set pace in your mind. They'll set pace in your mind. So it's things like that where I feel like in this day and age now, it's unfortunate that the authenticity gets lost in the experience of what's happened, because that's what it comes down to. Like I remember even a friend of mine sent me an Instagram post, and it was kind of this whole like avatar / metaverse kind of like the way it was done. It was all avatars that were talking, but it was obviously voiceovers. And the guy was like, yeah, like, you know the thing that I beat the other day, and the guy kept on guessing who it was. And then when he guessed who the person was, they were like, yeah, I clarted it. It's a dead story, man. Like to us, that's a dead story.
So I was waiting all of that
That's
for
a
what?
dead story.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to
Wind up
just
yourself
hear
for
you
what reason?
clarted it. What kind of nonsense is that? We'd even talk about things that we haven't done anything with, and we'll still talk about all the fantasies and things. Not to talk in a perverted way, because obviously there's a silver lining there. But
We're not perverted, man.
We're,
Let's just
we're,
get-
we're
man, we're not
appreciative.
mad
Let's
shit,
just we're appreciative with things like that. So again, we're not taking things for granted. Like that's the moral of the whole story. We're not taking things for granted. So for sure, I'm not gonna now tell man, cool, my girl, she does this when she's on top, Because again, if I'm giving you the opportunity to imagine what you would go through,
100%.
because I know what a man's like.
Yeah.
I know what my man.
We
like.
are really
I
perverted.
definitely-
That's what I say. We're perverted.
Going back to your question with the whole thing where can guys tell if a guy's good for, whether it be for your daughter or just in the whole question itself? Yes. Because I
You
feel
are a
like
guy.
we could already think of what guys will think.
Yeah.
Is that that film where it's like what's that film with what a woman thinks or what
What-
man
what
thinks?
men
Well?
want, what-
Is it how?
The Kevin
Yeah,
Hart.
Think like a man.
It's got bad.
Yeah, the
The
Kevin
guy
Hart.
from
Think
Eleven
like a
Basketball,
man.
Omar Epps,
Yeah.
all these.
Think like a
Think
man.
like a man. That's the one.
That's it.
So it's things like that again. Like women always try to sit down and be like, I know what a man wants.
Impossible.
You don't know.
No.
Or
But do you
not
think
even-
every man wants the same thing?
Yes.
Really?
This is a good question now because we've spoke about it.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. No. This is
loves
good.
it.
No, because we went shisha the other day. I'm not giving context. We have to
It's
give
not context. I just
When
leave
she-
this guy with a headache every time I see him.
Went shisha the other day, and you see me. I'm about self-improvement. I'm about let's have
Actually,
real
no.
conversations
I am
that's
not getting
developing,
into
that's
this.
real. You know, let's address certain things. You know what I'm saying? And I was basically saying, like, guys, right? Guys know what they want. Like when they're linking or they're dating these certain girls, like I was saying to Sam, there's always a potential. If someone is single, if a man is single and he's out there linking, dating, whatever, there's always a potential for him to get with this girl and finalize the deal. There's always a potential because it's not like he's seeing someone and he's doing something. He's single. The person he's seeing single, there's always a potential. Like, it's just, can you get the deal over the table kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, what was I going to say? I can't even remember what I was going to say, man. I can't remember.
In your head.
Yeah.
But
can't
you think
remember.
even with a link, do you not think that you established that beforehand? So say like you're chatting to someone, you're like, yeah, I'm not really on anything. Like we're just going to be linking. So if some guy says that to me, automatically I'm like, I'm not going to do or act in any other way. If we're linking, we're linking.
Okay, now
Do you know what I mean?
can
So
only
how
speak
is
of
there
experience.
potential?
Lufa, yeah, put knowledge in this, bro,
I can
because
only speak for
you
experience.
know what I'm trying to say.
No, 100.
You know what I'm
I
trying
feel
to
like
say.
I've been in very unique situations where, to what you said, the girls reciprocate the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like, I've been in a situation where I've had someone tell me, Lufa, if you're doing your thing, cool. It is what it is. Just understand if you're gonna do your thing, we're gonna do our thing, but with protection.
Cool.
Now that to me, I've never heard that in my life. Because I've always been under the impression that guys are always allowed to crack on and do their thing without the acknowledgement of the person who they're with. So now for someone to say that they're open to
Yeah.
the fact that you're doing your thing,
Because she's probably doing her thing as well.
or she doesn't mind, or she doesn't care
Yeah.
because she knows that we're not going to get into a place where we have to think about that. I never fathomed something like that. So, but again, it's a unique situation, a very unique situation. So I feel like, again, it comes down to who you're dealing with.
100%.
Because again, with the dating world in this day and age, and I've spoken to so many people, and I've been, like, even I said to Angie the other day, like, being in a situation where you have females that have friends, there needs to be a level of discipline, to maintain that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then at the same time, there's a lot of nuggets that come with that, because you also get to understand how women think, because they will open up to you in a way that they not necessarily may feel confident to open up with their friends, because they know with a guy they also want to know the guy's perspective, because that's essentially who they're wanting to settle with, right? Now, with that being said, that's also allowed me to understand how women think,
Yeah.
because they're gonna also give me everything that they want from a guy, so now I can interpret that for myself to carry out for another girl. So with that being said, I was trying to elaborate with the point before. It's like, you just never really, like, it's just crazy how sometimes women and men are very similar, very, very similar in more ways than you can imagine, but women tend to take a route that just allows the person to go through more levels than they need to go through in order to make sure that what they ever want from this guy, they're going to get from this guy. That's the only difference. But really, truly, just as you asked before, do you think men want the same thing? Yes. Do girls want the same thing? Yes, when you break it down, we want the same thing. But when you look at the levels, women want it in such much more of a complicated way because they think with emotion. They just want to make sure for how many levels you go through, we don't get hurt as much.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'll agree with that.
They're just
That
trying
is
to protect
true.
themselves.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
get
it
that.
is,
But
it
with
is.
guys, it's a whole different ballgame because the moment you then try and break us, or if we do get hurt, 20
No
times
turning
harder,
back.
and
No
try and
turning back.
rectify
Another
that.
thing I was
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
to Sam
yeah.
as well, though, was like
Yeah.
basically guys know the qualities that they're looking for.
100%.
They know the qualities that they're looking
100%.
for, and it's like, as I was saying, if a guy's single and a girl's single, it's like there's a potential, but it's like, are you ticking those boxes? And people are not bothered about. It's like what I was saying to you about if you receive a bottle of drink right now, and you're in a restaurant, yeah, and you order, let's say, Coke or whatever. If that Coke's already open by the time you get the drink, you're gonna be like, boss man, this drink's open. Don't know, can you change it? You're not trying to find out why is it open. You're not trying to find out why is it open. No one cares. Like people say, okay, cool. You've got a trauma that you've got or whatever. People are not trying to find out why have you got this trauma or this issue. That's That's your own problem to deal with, kind of thing. They just want a new, because there's so much option nowadays. It's just like, bro, get me a new drink. Like,
Yeah, facts. Oh,
get me a new drink.
Because they know it's that easy
It's
to
that
solve.
easy.
Yeah.
So that's the market.
But
the
they'll
market
have
is
another
very,
trauma. Like
No,
it's
so that's what I'm
not.
saying. There is traumas, but then it's like other traumas are bigger than other traumas. The other drink might just have a scratch on the can. Someone could still open that bottle and enjoy that. Like someone could still open that can and drink that cool. If the bottle's can's open, it's like, bro, the can's open, bro. Look, can you change the
I
drink?
don't have time for this.
Like, yeah, just boss man, change the
But
drink.
why? But why? Because it's as simple as that, though.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
as
but it's
simple
whether
as
you want to
just
be with that
changing
person or
drink.
not.
No, but why? But why is it? Why is
Why
it
would you
about?
go through the headache? You might as well just
Not even
change
just
the
going
drink.
for the headache, but it's like when you know that the solution is there, why are you trying to find other ways to solve a
And as
problem
well,
that can be solved?
Luth, let me say this, yeah. So they will know a solution because I will have a real people will have real conversations. Men, not even just me. Men will have real conversations like, this is the problem. If you want to know, because some men don't care, bro. Some men won't even tell you. They'll see the problem, know the problem, but they'll think, with this conversation is
We'll leave it
triggering.
to my man.
This conversation is triggering. I don't even want to hear noise. I'm just going to move on. Like,
Yeah, facts.
but
And that's our
someone,
downside sometimes. Yeah,
it's a downside sometimes. Someone like me will have that conversation, but then it's triggering. But then it's like, are you gonna do the work now instead of you being triggered? Are you gonna take what I'm saying and then maybe say, okay, you know what, this person is saying this for a reason.
yeah, and apply it.
But
yeah.
everybody has different triggers as well. That's the thing, depending on experience and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, but as well as who is telling you. Like, I had a friend of mine I was talking about a certain situation with, and he just kept answering me questions. And the one thing he always said to me at the end of the conversation was, Luther, I'm asking you these questions so you can think. It's not about necessarily what I want you to do or how I'm gonna influence you or what I said. I want you to basically like take that as gold, but it's just more so I'm asking you these questions. I want you to constantly think, bro. So don't ever feel like I'm saying these things to you as a deterrent or to make you second guess what you're going through, but it's just to make you think. And that's the main thing, because the more you think, the more you can actually break down a certain situation to then see things that you probably didn't know or didn't see before. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But then when you look to, I guess, when you have the questions there to make you think a certain way, but then you choose to ignore that and then think and try and make your own questions and try to now establish that, unfortunately, and I don't want to kind of like gentrify or, you know, stereotype, but unfortunately I've just seen this more common in women to make them feel like they need to justify certain things to almost second guess the obvious and go another way. Why?
what do you mean? In what sense? What do you mean
So
by
like, you know,
justify
you got
certain
that
things?
typical picture where it's like you're in a stream and you've got
I get
the
what you're
rainbow.
saying,
you
no.
got
No,
the
I need the
rainbow and
breakdown
sun,
because I'm like,
and then you got the
You've
like,
seen
the
a
evil
solution,
forest.
you know it's
You
there.
see the evil forest.
Why are you going there?
you decide
You will
to
still not even go to the evil forest. You'll turn back. You'll turn back and try to find somewhere else. bruv.
Maybe it's Mother
Go
Nature.
through
in
the
us.
forest and see what
It's
happens.
the human nature
Go
in us.
to the
You're
rainbow
still
and
not
see
even
what
trying to take
happens.
it in. Should I give
It's
other
the Mother
examples?
Nature in us. You want to see the good in everything. You
example.
want to see the good in everyone and everything.
In what way? If you're going down the stream, if Mother Nature's taking you down one way and you have two choices, why would you want to go turn back and go against Mother Nature? And this is what I find so fascinating.
You
This is
do
what I
that
get.
again. I think it's it's age and experience and like I'm telling you because
Yeah,
there's
but nowadays that's
certain things.
obsolete, you know. I can't lie to you, that's obsolete.
No, but everyone has
So
to go
true.
through that phase.
What
Like
you're
everyone
saying
goes
is
through.
so
Obsolete
true.
now.
It's not. It's not.
You know why I
you're
say
saying
it's
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 obsolete?
a generation. It's
'Cause
an
when
age
you look at-
thing.
I hate what you're saying. I really do hear what you're saying. But then when you look at people at 21, a 21-year-old would happily sit down and say, cool, I'm just as mature as your age.
But they think
So
they
who-
are
No, but who's to say?
that they're not.
Who's to say?
Because there's people
That have had
our
life
age that
experience
behave
in
like
it.
they do you know what I mean? Like
And for
20,
them,
19.
if that's an
Yeah.
experience for them
Yeah.
that makes them feel that they've matured an X amount of years, who can we sit down and tell that person you don't know what it's like until they go through it?
Listen, you're constantly learning. Life
Because
is
the
a
same
full
for us.
lesson. Yeah,
There's times where
me, I'm
even my little brother's told me stuff when he was 14. He's 19. He's 19 now. He told me stuff when he was like 12.
Yeah.
That made me think, rah.
Yeah.
I remember talking about idols. And I said to him, yo, my idol is Ronaldo. And people will know which Ronaldo I'm talking about. And he went to me, yo, Luther, you know you should never call someone your idol. Looked at man, like, what are you talking about?
12-year-old, like, what are you
Yeah.
saying?
What are you talking
know what's-
about? He was like, yeah, because it says here in the Bible, or God says never to look at someone as your idol because X, Y, Z can make you
spitting
kind of
knowledge.
basically idolize them as God.
Yeah.
Bro, that never left my mind till then.
Yeah,
Luther.
Imagine that.
yeah.
That never left my mind till then.
But that's another thing.
Until
Elder
this
young
day,
ones are
I've
woke
never
now,
ever
innit?
tried to say someone's my idol. Till this day. My man 10 trying to tell me
Spat
that's it.
facts.
The whole thing. So again, who's for me to say to man, shut up, man, you know what you're talking about. I'm 10 years older than you.
You can learn from a
Who's
baby.
to say?
You know who
You
say
can,
that?
but
You know who
even
say
that, I
that?
feel like that's been seen
You know
and
who
heard
say
from
that?
somewhere.
You seen African culture that your little brother you would have got slapped.
Quickly.
I'm
Who
not
are you to
hearing
tell
that,
me
man.
otherwise?
I'm not
I'm
hearing
not
that.
gonna
That's
lie.
that side.
But Luther's right, because I got the kind of same relationship with my brother, bro. Like, same thing. It's cool. Same thing. Like, he's older than me, but we be having conversations and it's like, I'll be saying something. Sometimes he drops a lot of knowledge on me, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'll be saying some things and it's like, hey, this is really resonating with you.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
if it wasn't for me, bro, I think we'd still be playing games heavily, bro. It was me that
Listen.
was like, hey, bro, we're getting achievements on this Xbox 360, but real life we're not achieving what we're
much.
supposed to be achieving, bro.
Listen, and
After
there's
that,
nothing, and that's why I always try to feel like the way I have to open my mind up, I need to open it in a whole different way where I need to be humble. Humble is probably one of the biggest lessons that most people need to understand nowadays because it always opens you to new knowledge, and new knowledge is good knowledge, no matter how you take it in, whether it be as a thing where someone can tell you about yourself, cool, but now you know how to better yourself. And if someone's saying you how to better yourself, cool, you know how to better yourself. So it's always in a good way. It's never in a way where it's like, it's undermining. Man's telling me to save my money because I'm spending too much P going out, like it's a dickhead thing. Blah, blah, blah.
see, but the thing is, you see, when it comes to men and women, because that's why I asked that question before. I feel like some people can't get past the triggering part. So it's like when
because they're not true to themselves, bro.
maybe they're not. Maybe that could be a factor, but I feel like maybe sometimes when conversations are too triggering, it's like they can't get past the good part of what someone's telling you. It's like if someone's telling you about yourself. For me, I would love if someone tells me about myself, bro, because I'm humble enough. Like you said, I'm humble enough to listen and be like, this
And
person
take it
is
in,
saying
yeah.
something. They're saying it for a reason. Like maybe there might be some truth to it. Like let me actually go into it and maybe even ask other people's opinion on what's been said, kind of thing. But a lot of girls, I feel like they would listen to it and just be triggered, and literally it just stops there. Like you would try and tell them again and again and again.
So
It's
this-
like, no, because I've done this, because no, because of, it's because
You
of
know
this,
what?
and then because it's
With
like.
that being
bro,
said,
because-
when obviously Sam comes back, we're gonna make sure that she gets her word in it. But
yeah.
in this day and age, bro, like,
And I'm not just saying
unfortunately-
just Sam. I'm not
no,
just saying
no,
Sam.
but it would be good to get a female's advice because
100%.
we've always spoke about this, bro. body positivity, feminism, and so on and so
All
forth.
these examples.
Equalities, and so on and so
All
forth.
of these examples.
Where, like, you know what? For the camera, to everyone that's watching, if anyone's willing to really sit down there and be part of this podcast, you're more than welcome to.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, it will be good to also get another perspective because, and it's not even just perspective, but just another voice to really air out an opinion that they feel really strongly about. Because at the end of the day, this is something that we really need to elaborate and talk about. So, and what I'm talking about is just more so a female's perspective. Sam, perfect timing.
How much time have we got there as well? Just
a quick check.
Is there?
Just give us a number.
Yeah. Is there any time on the top?
Gun to your head.
No.
We'll just carry on.
You said when that stops and the red goes off, the red means it's recording.
No, so the red means it's recording. But let me.
Go on,
let me just check.
So what I was gonna quickly talk about is
because
what we were talking about is basically just opinions about certain things, but to get a broad, or to, I guess, give people a broader perspective when we talk about how when we say something to someone, if they get triggered by it, to what extent should they be triggered, or to who is telling them the certain thing, or how they're perceiving what has been said to them to be triggered. And I feel like in this day and age, because certain things have been said in a way where it's like...
Andrew's already looking at me.
Okay, because we've asked you a lot of questions where it's like, do we feel like a guy can tell if another guy is right to move to their friend, if it being female or a daughter? Or, for example, do we feel like women can't gauge how to know a good guy as opposed to a man, and so on and so forth? Because in this day and age where we have, again, like I said, like this whole movement about trying to bring women to the same pedestal, per se, as men, it creates, I guess, I was going to say equilibrium, but that's a balance. It creates a bit of an unstable platform for people to have their say, because there will be girls that will be like, nah, we're just as the same as man, if not more, blah, blah, blah. And then man will be like, yo, what are you talking about? You don't know how men think and this and that, this and that. So it'll be interesting to get that kind of debate or conversation going on, to really get people to have that.
That's a never-ending one.
But it's beautiful, because I feel like for as long as we could talk it in a way where people can still communicate amongst each other, regardless if we agree or not, we still give people the opportunity to think about it. Because really and truly, I can sit here and say, boom, men think differently to women. But there'll be so many people out there that'll think different. But that's my point of view. You're not going to change that. Because through X, Y, Z amount of experiences or people that I know, I've seen that happen. You know? But then again, am I right? Am I wrong?
It's an opinion.
This whole male-female equality, this, that, like, I don't know, man. It's all a bit messy now. It's I don't know.
Talk yours.
I feel like everyone's got a bit lost in this day and age. Like,
in what way? What has allowed people to be lost? Because
social media, for one.
Because, for example,
is a big one.
I feel like there was a podcast. I think I sent Andrew this, and I'm gonna put these podcasts in the WhatsApp group as well, because it'd be good for everyone to see it. And this girl said, "I'm a 10." She said, "I used to think I was a 4,
Samuels?
but I'm a 10."
Oh,
yeah.
I saw this with the wet girl and the yes.
This girl. Hold tight.
God is like, she was not a 10.
Whole time. No, but one thing that was funny was when she went, I was a 4, and I used to think I was a 4, but now I think I'm a 10, because the fact that I feel like I'm a 10
makes me a 10.
Everyone slapped on her. But what value have you added to yourself to now make you a 10? And this is the day and age that we live in, where people want to put stars on their chest without earning them. They
Yeah,
want to put that, they want to
100%.
wear,
The thing is as well,
they want to go out and wear that S on
Yeah.
the chest without earning anything.
And
But
the
it
thing
works
is,
both ways. This is
they're
what's
not-
frustrating.
Okay, no,
but we got
about-
more of a
Wait,
chance,
hold
though.
on. What do you mean with that? What do you mean that? What do you
It
mean
work.
with that?
Do you know
What
what?
do you mean
Even nowadays, guys are not willing to do the work. Like, I'm very,
Chivalry's gone, innit?
I'm traditional in the sense of I've said this to you so many times. Like the guy's the hunter. Like you have to show me that you want me and that you want to make me wife before I can even show you certain things. Like I'm not gonna cook for you as soon as I meet you. I'm not gonna do all these things because
You want to lie.
Hey yo,